Well, welcome everybody to the Suspended Animation Podcast, where I chat to loads of cool people about loads of cool stuff, photography and other. So today we have a great show for you. We have the pleasure of a very special guest to discuss a topic that's always interesting and close to our hearts, real estate. Greg Weisz is the key sales agent with Richardson and Wrench in Double Bay. His office looks after every suburb from Rushcutters Bay to Watsons Bay and all along the East Coast. Greg has been on the front lines for a number of years and he has seen it all, ups, downs and in-betweens of the property market. I'm sure this will be a valuable discussion that everybody will get something out of. So without further ado, let's hand over to Greg to tell us a bit more about what he does. Greg, welcome.
Thanks, Darren, and thanks for this opportunity to speak with you
about
sharing some insights about what I do and about the world of real estate.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
I'd also like to mention what a fantastic photographer you are. And if anyone needs a photographer, look no further than Darren. He is amazing.
I love this guy.
Check him out.
Fantastic.
So basically, I'm directly involved with the sales and marketing of residential properties in our business, and my core focus is around Dover Heights and Rose Bay.
Yep.
But as you mentioned, our office does look after all the suburbs along the east coast, from Rushcutters Bay all the way through to Watsons Bay and everything in between.
Awesome. Perfect.
So and my background is I was born and raised in the eastern suburbs. Grew up here. All my friends and family are around here. I have travelled the world a lot, but also, stayed grounded in the eastern suburbs. So I'm very fond of where I live and all the people here. I've been in sales and marketing for basically my whole career, 27 years since school. So it's just showing you how old I am.
Say no more.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Fantastic, mate.
There you go.
So, mate, real estate's always a fantastic topic, and the real estate market continually changes. Everybody's got a million different opinions. So I'd love to know, even for myself, but also for all the listeners and viewers out there, as an agent in the front line, what is the feedback you're getting right now in terms of the buyers?
Well, I must tell you, we're seeing a huge amount of buyers coming through our open homes and bidding on properties at auction.
Yep.
Just tell you, last night we had our auctions where we sold 7 from 7 properties, all sold well above reserve. We had a packed house of buyers. Everyone, lots of people registering to bid. There was, an amazing atmosphere in the room last night, and everyone was happy because every property sold well above the reserve. So,
sensational. And that doesn't happen often, does it?
No, in fact, earlier on the year, pre the elections, the May federal elections, we were seeing very few numbers of buyers coming through the opens. Often we'd have to extend the campaign to get more buyers to the properties, and it was just hard, a struggle to get buyers engaged in the property. But since May elections, where Liberals stayed in power, the capital gains tax had, all those situation with the capital gains tax remained in place. And since the APRA had loosened the restrictions on the lending, and also with the historical 0.75% interest rates, we're seeing more buyers have more money to spend, and they're not afraid to spend it.
Great, fantastic. So good news out there for the market.
So they're definitely, they're sort of, how can I say, they're just more confident. Very
fantastic,
good.
Mate. And so would you say now would be a good time to sell?
Yes, I would. Look, historically speaking, springtime was usually the best time to sell because, the weather's nice, the atmosphere's good, people are happy, they're relaxed, and you're able to present your property in the best light, so to give the property the best appearance. That's we've seen a shift in those trends now, and we're actually finding that at the moment it's any time throughout the year is a good time. The best time, I would say, is to do it when there's not much availability on the market. So currently we're seeing a lot less properties on the market than this same time last year, about 35% less.
Wow.
So, what that means is there's less properties on the market, which means the buyers are more attracted to your property, and therefore they don't have too much choice, and that's in turn creating the hype over the properties.
Okay,
so,
fantastic. And are you seeing many differences in suburbs, or is it across the board in Sydney?
Look, I mean, I can't say what's happening out west because I'm not focusing on that area, but look, I do know that with the eastern suburbs, a lot of people want to live in the eastern suburbs. They want to be here. They're not building any more houses. There's no more land to build on. They are developing apartments, so you're seeing a lot of new apartments being built around, which
sure.
Is good. But yeah, so there's limit of the land. So basically, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I suppose I'll ask one more question that I just came to my mind while I've got a real estate agent in front of me.
Yeah.
What's the general relationship between sales and rentals? Because I've always wanted to know how that works, or if there even is a relationship.
Well, look, I mean, our company does handle both rental and sales. Okay. There has been, from what I hear, the rental market is a little bit strained at the moment with regards to getting a good return on your investment. Tenants are becoming more choosy and more picky, and they're actually, because there's a lot of properties on the market for rent. They're basically saying, well, I don't want to pay you this much per week. I'll only pay you X amount. So, in turn, for investors to get their properties rented, they have to look at dropping their rent per week, and that affects the rental. So there is some sort of a relationship there, but it's a different kettle of fish.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've always been interested in how that works, but
Yeah.
interesting. Mate. And now I've heard of these terms thrown around in the industry a lot: off market versus on market. What does that mean?
Well, look, I mean, these terms are being used a lot. Off market's being used a lot more these days. Basically, what off market means is it's marketing your property not through the usual marketing chains. For example, internet, domain and realestate.com, or advertising in the Wentworth Courier or newspapers of that effect, or putting up a signboard in front of your house or in front of the building that you own a unit in. So off market basically is using the real estate agent's database of qualified buyers to run buyers through to get a response and to see if buyers are wanting to buy the property, and they'll put in an offer.
Gotcha.
And most of the time the offers, if the price is reasonable and the owners are willing to sell at that price, we can do a deal. And it's a good way of, if the owner of the property doesn't want everyone to know that he's selling, he or she is selling, it's a great way to do it because it's not advertised, it's not publicised anywhere, there's no signboard out the front.
You don't have to go to the stress of an auction.
Correct. And you can do it quietly and quickly.
Gotcha.
We're dealing with thousands of buyers that come through our open home. So we've got a lot of buyers that miss out on properties that are still looking, still ready to buy. And they also like the opportunity of snapping a deal before auction or not through auction process.
So that seems probably happening a bit more lately.
Yes, we're seeing that a lot. Now look, you could ultimately get a good result doing it that way, but we find getting the best result is to advertise to the broader market, to get all the buyers out there, even ones that are not on our database, or even for the passive buyer who's flicking through the newspaper and just sees a property and goes, "Oh, that looks good. We weren't thinking of buying, but let's go and check it out."
Gotcha.
And we hear stories like that all the time when we put an ad in the Wentworth Courier and someone comes to the open home with the courier under their arm and says, "Look, I saw this here. I wasn't thinking of buying, but I like this property. I want to put in an offer." And we end up selling it that way. So it works.
Okay, awesome.
It definitely does work.
Awesome.
And you basically, when you're putting everyone into a competitive environment,
Yep.
you end up, getting a better result.
Everybody gets a more realistic result.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
So that's.
I mean, and I see nowadays, because I'm looking through LinkedIn and looking around the suburbs, I'm seeing buyers agents' offices and buyers agents' profiles pop up everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
What is going on? I mean, and where do buyer agents fit into this real estate agent process?
Well, look, it's interesting because in America, buyers agents and sellers agents have been around for forever.
Is that right?
So yeah, so when you're buying a property in America, you do have to engage a buyer's agent.
You have to.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we're seeing a shift over here where there's a lot of people that are time poor, and they're willing to pay a fee because buyers agents aren't free. They do charge a commission, just like sellers agents do.
Everybody's got to eat.
Correct. So buyers engage buyers agents to do all the work for them, to go out and search for properties and check out do the due diligence on the property to make sure that it fits the profile and the criteria of the buyers.
Yep.
And then the buyer's agent also, has the skill or should have the skill to be able to negotiate a good price for the buyer.
Okay.
And
so real estate agents generally have good relationships with a few buyer's agents.
Yeah.
And they work together with them to get...
Correct. I mean, we have a couple of hundred buyer's agents on our books at the moment.
Wow.
Who basically emailing us constantly about new clients they've got with new client briefs and what they're looking for, so we can help them out, because if we've got any properties that are off market, they like to see them first, because then they can buy them quickly.
Yeah, that's how they do their work.
Because they don't get paid until they buy a property, and we don't get paid till we sell a property.
Very interesting. More and more about buyers agents. A quick shout out to all the buyers agents out there. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. And so, mate, just to wrap up, what should people look for when they need to partner with a real estate agent or a real estate agency?
Well, you probably noticed there's a hell of a lot of real estate agents out there.
Absolutely.
I believe the biggest thing to look for is you got to trust the agent, and there's trust is a big role.
Yep.
You also have to know, you have to trust them, and also realise that they can look after you and look after your asset.
Yep. And
they have to have a reasonable track record as well, whether it's with the company they're working for or themselves, selling a lot of properties in the area and having the knowledge and the product knowledge.
Yep.
And so it comes down to personality as well. So, there's a lot of agents out there that, are good, but they don't have the personable skills that, some others do.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, you're selling your biggest asset. So you need to...
It's a very emotional process.
You need to be dependent on the agent's advice and make sure that they're giving you the right advice, and most importantly, to have trust in that they will deliver and get you the best result.
Fantastic.
And the company I work for has been in business since 1850. They're one of the first real estate agents in Australia.
Is that right?
So, and we've got some really good results to show.
Awesome. So, well, thank you, everybody. I think that was hopefully a very, very valuable little session for you. Lots of information about real estate agents, strategies, buyers agents, how to partner with a real estate agent. So if anybody has any information that you want to share or any questions that you might want to ask, please let me know. Give me a buzz, 0414 659 800, or email me, darren@suspendedanimation.com.au. If you have any ideas for up and coming podcasts that you'd like us to put together for you, do the same. And until next time, thank you, Greg. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Darren.
Right, absolutely. Thanks for coming on the show. And as I mentioned, this was the first podcast for Suspended Animation, and we'll be doing loads and loads more very, very soon. So see you all soon.
Great.